Alright, JAH CEASER, this video is for you. It's the first day where it's kind of decent outside, and, you know, it's not raining, and it's not terribly hot yet. You asked me to do a video on shifting, and to be honest with you, I mean, I'm still pretty new, you know, to riding a bike. I've got just over 300 miles on this bike, and this is my first bike, but I'll do my best to just kind of explain how I particularly shift, and that's coming through the lens of I'm still fairly new, but this is what's been working for me, and I've taken some tips from some videos I've watched, and also some commenters on this channel have been pretty helpful. I'll say pretty helpful in terms of some mistakes I've been making, and how I can improve upon just shifting better. Then also, like, there's this one really excellent video from Moto Jitsu, and he just explains every step so well in terms of shifting. It's a video of him shifting in a parking lot, very similar to what I'm going to be trying to do right now. Alright, okay, so it looks like this church is empty, or at least this church parking lot is empty. So let's see if we can set up. So one thing I also want to point out is I don't know how ideal this is, because there's pine needles everywhere, but let's just put this in neutral. Yeah, so there's pine needles everywhere, but I think we're just going to go on that side where there's less pine needles and just kind of show how I shift, going up shifting and then down shifting. So basically, just what my particular instructor taught us in my MSF courses, we did, let me just turn this off. We kind of did like a mock actions on how we should operate our vehicle. So like with the motorcycle completely off, we kind of mimicked the actions of what we're supposed to do for a particular maneuvers. When we're shifting up, okay, it's going to go from the throttle hand to the clutch hand, and then you're going to kick up, and then once that's kicked up, you go from the clutch back to the throttle. So it's going to go something like this. So let's say I'm on the throttle, right? So you release the throttle, clutch in, and then you kick up, and then you release the clutch, and then you get back on the throttle. So that happens, I mean, you could do those steps when you're practicing pretty slow, and then when you're out there in the real world, then as long as you get those practice rounds in, then you could start going a little bit faster, and then eventually it's going to become like very at the same time. It's going to become very quick and almost like it's happening everything at the same time. So let me go ahead and just show you on the bike. But before I do that, basically shifting down is exactly the same thing. If we're not talking about rev matching here, shifting down is exactly the same thing. So let's say you're on the throttle, you're going to release the throttle, pull the clutch in, and then kick down. Okay, I'm in first now, but I'm going to kick back up. But you kick down, and then you release the clutch, and then you get back on the throttle. Okay, so it's going to be very similar. Instead of, the only difference is you're going to be kicking down to downshift and then up to upshift. So I'm going to try to demonstrate that here. I'm only going to go to second gear because there's not a whole lot of road, I guess, or parking lot for me to show you, but I'll do my best, and hopefully that explanation was well explained. And I'm going to go ahead and link Moto Jitsu's video down below as well, because I'm sure he's explained it better than I can explain it, at least right now in my current stage, my current experience level of, both vlogging and riding a motorcycle. So let me go ahead and try to demo this for you, JAH. Hopefully it turns out good. And yeah, just thank you again for your support, and let's get going with this demo. Alright, so I'm just going to turn around here so I can have a nice little straightaway and show you. So I'm gonna do shifting up right now, okay? So I'm in first, just got a little bit of hand on the throttle. So I'm gonna go a little bit faster. I'm gonna go off the throttle, clutch in, shift up, and then clutch is going back out, and then I'm going a little bit on the throttle again, okay? I'll do that one more time. Try to do that one more time. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna kick down. We'll do some downshifting over here. So I'm going to get off the throttle, clutch in, kick down, and then release the clutch, and then get back on the throttle. Alright, so let's go ahead and upshift. I'm going to give a little bit more throttle, position my foot right here so it's underneath the pedal. So throttle out, clutch in, kick up, and then throttle or clutch back out, and then give it a bit more throttle. You can put your hand back on the throttle once the clutch is out again. So let's downshift, okay? So I'm going to do it a lot faster this time, okay? There we go. I know it's hard to tell because I just have one camera angle, but I'm doing my best. I'm going to do it a few times, and hopefully it looks all right. So on the throttle, I'm going to upshift, okay? I'm going to position my foot so it's ready. So release throttle, clutch in, upshift, release clutch, and then give it more throttle. I'm going to downshift now. I'm going to try not to like verbally say anything because that's a little distracting for me. Alright. So I'm just going to loop around here, and I'll upshift again, and then I'll downshift on the way back, and I think that's going to wrap it up. And I'm just going to not say anything because it's a little distracting. So that was a little bit more smoother. I can't when I'm verbally saying things. When I'm verbally saying things, it's tough because I have to do the actions faster than I can say it, or else it's going to be clunky. Like my movements are going to be clunky. So I'm gonna circle back here one more time, and upshift one more time. Try to make it smooth. This is also a great way to just practice, you know, your slow speed maneuvers. All right, my foot's in position. There we go. And then I'm gonna downshift. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop up here under the shade. And remember, try not to step on any of these freaking pine needles, you know, for good measure. I'm gonna just put my kickstand up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So just to go over it and not get back out on there. So we're on the throttle, right? To upshift, say we're on the throttle. So let go of the throttle, then you bring the clutch in, and then like before any of this, you're putting your foot in position underneath the shifter. Okay? So your foot is while your foot is underneath, you're letting go of the throttle, pulling the clutch in, kicking up, and then it'll just release back so your foot can go back to neutral and you can pop it behind. And then once that's kicked up and your foot's back, then you release the clutch and then you get back on the throttle almost at the same time. And it's hard to tell like timing wise because I think every bike is different, but once you get on your bike, you can start experimenting and feeling how that works and like what feels right. Your bike is going to tell you what feels right because it's either going to be jerky or it's going to be smooth. Okay? So again, it's the same thing for downshifting except for you're just kicking down instead of up. Just always, like a good tip is just like get your foot in position before any of these hand movements happen. Get your foot in position so you're ready to kick up or down. And I think that's it. I think it's time to get out of here though. It's very, very hot here in South Florida, and you know, it's not even noon, and I'm already, you know, I'm wearing my full leathers. I don't have my leather pants, but I've got my boots on. And, you know, I'm just trying to be safe, especially, you know, as someone, you know, still learning, you know. All right, well, thank you so much, JAH. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Please be safe. Let me know how your progress goes with your motorcycle journey. I'm not even sure if you've taken your MSF course yet, or even if you have a bike. So yeah, I'm curious to hear where you're currently at your in your motorcycle journey. To anybody else who feels like they want to support this channel further, I do have that Buy Me a Coffee website up. It's basically just a tip jar. Yeah, if you feel like supporting me there, I would really appreciate it. Getting those 2 donations from JAH just really made my day. Happened on 2 separate occasions, and JAH, like I said, that was really, you didn't have, like, if you wanted a video, you didn't have to donate again, but I truly appreciate it. So thank you so much. I also did get that mock-up of the Ride with Casey shirt up. I don't have it up, but I got it in. I got a sample in, and I really like it. I think I'll go ahead and put a store up just in case anybody wants, if they want to donate, they could kind of get something in return. They could get a shirt, whatever. I'm just going to start with either 1 or 2 designs and then kind of see what you guys are interested in and go from there. All right, well, I think that about does it. Thank you so much, JAH, again. I cannot tell you how much it means to me. I'm just a super small channel, less than 500 subs, and, super new to riding motorcycles. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for supporting me, and I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will catch you in the next one. All right, I'm going to rev match. So basically, you just clutch in, and while you're clutching in, you give the throttle a little bit of a kick. Just a little bit. Doesn't need too much. And while you're, all that's pretty much happening at the same time. Clutch in, just a little blip on the throttle, and then you're kicking down. And then just, release the throttle, or release the clutch, and then get your hand back on the throttle and give it some gas.